Have you ever found yourself so heavy with guilt that it has actually kept your soul from doing something that it just really needed to do?
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life.
Well, hello my friends and welcome to my channel. I'm Kelly Wiler. I'm a full-time artist in Ohio, and I'm also the owner of an amazing online artist group called the Creators Club. So what I'm going to do with all of you today is kind of talk to you a little bit about how your feelings and your emotions can be displayed right on your painting and right inside your canvas. Normally, when I start painting, I like to show up with just a really calm mind. Sometimes I do some breath work, prayer, meditation, and then I start painting. This time in particular, I found myself showing up to the easel with a lot of anxiety. My sister and I had just recently booked a impromptu vacation, and I had so much feeling of guilt about it. We had just suffered the loss of my mother, my aunt, my father, and a very good friend. I know that my soul needed a break, but I just was feeling overcome with guilt about leaving my family. For this particular painting, I had to completely remove my own voice in my head, and I had to speak as though it was my best friend talking to me. And so I started writing, and I could hear her voice saying, "It's okay to go, and you deserve healing."
I'm gonna trust my intuitions. I'm gonna take a deeper breath. I'm gonna think about how some things are best unsaid.
As I showed up to teach this particular class in my membership group, I kept hearing echoes of past statements that I had spoke to them about taking care of themselves first, so that they have something overflowing in them so that they can then, in turn, give back to their own families.
Feels like we are on the straight, tired people in the
As I find myself about halfway through this painting, I am trying to get to know who these figures are. I have a feeling that they are family. I'm unsure at this point where they're going, what they're doing, and so oftentimes I kind of walk away from it in this halfway point and come back to it at a later date with fresh eyes, and I kind of have to live with these figures for a little while, experience life, and then when I come back to it, oftentimes it'll come to me what the cohesive, finished story will be. And so we did it. Sis and I took off for Florida to spend our very first Mother's Day without our mother and father.
If I could hear my father's voice.
We wanted to do something really special on that day in particular, so we spent the day in St. Augustine. Mom and Dad would be so happy that we did that.
Yeah, he would tell me we have time to laugh and time to heal. Our favorite song is on repeat, drinking wine until the dawn.
This was the very first time Sis and I were able to get away, just the two of us by ourselves. And I have to admit, it was the easiest, most relaxing vacation I think I've ever had. We spent time in art museums, laying around the beach, eating good food, checking out bands, we just had a wonderful time. You know, one thing we had talked about doing too was maybe making this a yearly event. Maybe on Mother's Day, every year, we pick a place and we go and we just spend time together.
You're always here, you always here.
As I made my way back to the studio, I found that I felt really refreshed, and I was actually just really excited to get back to my painting. So I started with some more layers. I added a little bit of tissue paper here using the liquid patina, and by the way, I will add a list of the products that I used in the description. As I came back, I added more words, and I noticed my words were more positive that I was writing. My words were a little more lighthearted and joyful. I noticed that the strokes that I was making were even a bit different. I was still trying to figure out where I was going to go as far as the figures are concerned. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to keep all 4 of the figures. So I kind of sat on it a while and I kept working on these layers. So by now you've noticed that I've opted just to keep those 2 main figures right in the middle. And how could I do anything other than that after this beautiful, beautiful special trip that I had with my sister? And I think that this can represent any 2 souls that are connecting and uniting. I've kind of made it to where anybody could possibly look at this and resonate with it at some time in their life with a certain person that's special to them. The meaning of the lotus flower. It's a reminder of the beauty that comes from change, the magic that a new beginning brings, and the seed of potential that's buried in the most unlikely places. I hope that you will step forward in your truth and in your experiences and put those on your canvas, put those within your work.
Hey darling, I love it when it's me and you on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for 2. Hey darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright.
So, did you make it to the very end of this video? What did you think? So if you were to take your emotions that you felt right now, this very moment, how would you paint? What do you think your painting would say? What kind of feeling would it give off? Do you know? Are you going to give it a try? I would love to hear about your experience, and thank you so much for being here. If you're curious about this style of painting, you can join us over at the Creators Club. Sign up at girlupcycledstudio.com.